The Pats have already climbed one playoff hurdle. They rebounded from a 1-0 deficit against the Lethbridge Hurricanes to win the next 3 games, including the 4th and deciding game in double overtime in dramatic fashion. Well, the Pats have taken one step, but as you see in behind me, the Saskatoon Blades are the next hurdle to clear, and it will not be easy for the Pats against the defending Eastern Division champions. Good evening, everyone. I'm Peter Loubardias, and welcome to Regina Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina's Channel 7 Sports. Tonight's game, a big one. The biggest of the season for the Pats. I guess they all get pretty big at this time of year. It is game number 3 of the best-of-7 Eastern Division semifinal. This matchup, the Pats and the Blades, has gone back since the inception of the Western Hockey League. But this is only their 4th ever playoff meeting. In games 1 and 2, the two teams split. The Pats won the opening game 6-4 Saturday night in Saskatoon. The Blades came back the next night at home and won 3-2. That means whoever wins tonight will take a large leg up on trying to win 4 and moving on to the Western Hockey League's Final 4. First period play-by-play, the Pats and their rivals from Saskatoon in Game 3 of the best-of-7 Eastern Division semifinal is next. We'll be back with that right after this. I'm Peter Loubardias, and you're watching Pat Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina's Channel 7 Sports. Scoble, who has been on the shelf for over a month and a half with a Charlie horse injury. Mike Gray out with a groin pull, and the other Blades scratch, 16-year-old defenseman Wade Belak. The addition to the Blades lineup tonight, a gentleman who did not play in games 1 or 2, a 17-year-old defenseman Marty Zidane. And the Pats have had their toll of problems in the injury department. Russ Gronick will play tonight despite some very, very sore ribs. Steve Dowie has a bad case of the flu. He's not in the lineup. Vernon Beardy and Mirsad Moitin not in the lineup, and the Pats have called up Rhett Gordon from the Regina Midget Pat Canadians. And if you remember, Rhett played 2 games with the Pats during the regular season. He had the dubious distinction of doing his best ever. He scored on his first ever Western Hockey League shift, John, on a December 18th game when the Pats blasted Victoria 12-0.
Well, that's not a bad way to start your career. First time you touch the puck, it goes in the net, so I'm sure he's going to remember that one for the rest of his life.
Should be a great hockey game. We're all set to the winner of tonight's game. Not a stranglehold in this series, but certainly a leg up. Should be advantage. The Goosebumps are flying. It's a big crowd, one of the biggest of the years, piling into the Agrodome for this one. This is Regina Pat Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina's Channel 9.
At left wing, number 13, Brandon Coates. At right wing, number 9, Louis Dumont. And at center ice, number 19, Jeff Shantz. Here are the officials for this evening's game. The referee is Kevin Minch, and the linesmen are Scott Lombard and Todd Heaviside. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the playing of O Canada.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Agrodome. Peter Loubardias along with John Hammond to bring you Game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Division semifinal matching the Regina Pats and the Saskatoon Blades. And I can't believe it, but the crowd is into it already, and we haven't started. This place is as electric as I can remember in the 4 years that I've been here. As you look at a concerned, but I'm sure excited Pat bench. Our starting goaltenders tonight for the Regina Pats, and he's been outstanding in the playoffs. Mike Risdale with a record of 4-2 in postseason play and a goals against average of 3.44. And no surprise, at the other end of the rink, 18-year-old Norm Miracle sought to go high in this year's NHL draft, playing in his 22nd career playoff game. He is 4-2 in this year's playoffs with a goals against average of 2.78. I would say in the neighborhood of 5,000 making their way in tonight to the Agrodome to watch this big game. The Pats winning the opening game Saturday night in Saskatoon 6-4, and the Blades coming back to win game number 2, 3-2. Our referee tonight is Kevin Manch of Moose Jaw. The Pats will come to center with a line of Jeff Shantz, Louis Dumont, and Brandon Coates, Dion Zakuski, and Nathan Dempsey. The defensemen Fujita, Yakovic, and Calder. The Blades top line to start it off, along with their great pair of 16-year-old defensemen Warner and Allen. Puck comes free to Yakovic. Yakovic on right wing to the Blades. Calder, he'll shoot it in deep, and Risdale will handle for the Pats. On right wing, Dumont chips it on the boards, trying to clear it out with Shantz, held in by Fujita into the slot. Yakovic with a chance. He fanned on it, and Dempsey takes over in behind his own net to Dumont. Louis Dumont trying to dodge away from Fujita. Cleared it to the line, not out. Fujita tripped as the puck stays inside Pat territory. Into the slot, Fujita trying to get loose on a check. Dion Zakuski knocks him off the disc, and then Shantz turns it over nearly before Dempsey covers it up and feeds Coates of the Pats to center. Nice move as he hits the line hard. Slap shot by Brandon Coates. Caromed off the end boards and all the way out to center. Quite a start. We've played a minute of the first period. Jason Smith, nice move inside the line. He'll backhand it out of the reach of Coates. And Chad Allen takes over in his own zone for the Blades. Fails to clear it out. Coates with a puck. Moving into the slot is Hennis. Coates couldn't feed him. The puck is a big hit thrown by Yakovic on Hennis. The startup on left wing. He lost the puck. Hennis of the Pats in by the net. Tried to throw it. Clearly tipped it home on the doorstep, and then can't get the puck off the mesh. As Hennis has words with both Warner and Allen, as Biette, who's had a fabulous playoff, leading the Pats with 10 playoff points, nearly gave the Pats an early lead.
That was a great setup. You see Trevor Hennis go behind the net, and he backdoors it to number 21, Karry Biette, with a goaltender going all the other way. And if Biette could have had another half a second to control that puck, he had an open net, but he scooped it right away and hit the side of the mesh, and that causes a face-off. But good scoring opportunity early for the Pats.
Of the 6 playoff goals that Karry Biette has scored, he scored 3 of them in the first 2 games of this series. Blades win the draw. Biette on the ice with the Pats with Hannes and Friesen. They're matched again against the line of startup, McIntyre and Derek Tibbett. So the Blades were scoreless early on. Watton breaks it up. What a pair of games he's had in this series. Mark Watton has shot Risdale, kicked it out on the short side. Smith tied up McIntyre, side of the net, and Tibbetts in front for Watton, and Hannes came back defensively to steer it out. And down the ice is Biette and Kemper in a race for the puck deep in the Blade zone, and Kemper shielded off Biette. Good pace to start this game as the Blades fire the puck the length of the ice, and it's blown down on the icing call. 1:58 is come and gone, and this game is scoreless.
Well, I like it so far, Peter. Another thing the players have to, especially the Regina Pad players, are going to have to get used to is a big crowd here likes to make noise, and I hope they do, and I was trying to listen to it, when the players have the puck and a scoring opportunity. That's going to negate a couple of the players yelling for the puck and having that one-time blind pass to go where you want to do, because you can't hear the person. So Pat's going to have a little bit of an extra look to see where their people are.
From the draw, shot wide of the net. Russ West knocked down by Miracle. Tried to steer it off him from behind the cage as Mark Rader, who scored the game winner in Game 2, gets it free for the Blades. Clark Wilm at center ice. He'll dump it deep in Pat territory. Nathan Dempsey with it off the boards, and Russ Gronick. Gronick's pass hit Wilm, and the puck caroms out to the 16-year-old of the Blades, who then sends it deep in the Pat zone. Risdale on left wing to Russ Gronick. Gronick with it. He'll try and flip it out of the zone. Does so towards Rest. He bangs with Wilm. Reed took a shot at him as Duda cleared it into Pat territory. Zakuski kicks it out to the neutral zone. Jason Duda clears it now back into the patch into the rink as the Blades forechecking has been good early on. That's no surprise. Dempsey to defense partner Zakuski. Zakuski will simply flip it. It looked like it hit a pad of the bench, and it does. 17:09 to go in the first period. No score. Patch and the Blades. This is Patch Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Jail against Blades veteran 20-year-old James Startup, who has scored playoff points in 5 of the 6 Blade playoff games. Shantz has 4 playoff points for the Pats, including a 3-assist effort in Game 1, and now Shantz waved out of the circle. Dumont, a regular centerman, to take the draw, and he won it cleanly. Derek Eberle will flip the puck high, and the puck bounces at center towards Mark Watton of the Blades. He has 6 points on the playoffs so far as the Blades break in across the line, and it's blown down on the offside as Shantz and Kemper exchange a couple of unpleasantries. Mark Watton with a fabulous effort, John, in Game 2 of this series. He leads the Blades in points in the playoffs with 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points. Had more than 50 points or more than 60 points during the regular season, and he's playing with sore ribs.
Yeah, 66 points on the season, 15 goals, 51 assists, so he's been a dominating part. But you notice that in playoffs, the cream rises to the top, and you'll usually see some players play a lot better than they have all year, and it's another chance for them to just show themselves off, and sometimes people do that.
That's usually the difference between who stays alive in the postseason and who goes home early. Risdale plays it on right wing to Shantz. Shantz in behind Dumont. The Pets lose the puck. McIntyre, he scores! Andy McIntyre, second of the series and third of the playoffs, as the Pats play giveaway, and McIntyre found himself home free with a puck, and not good news for the Pats as they trail 3 minutes and 24 seconds in. It's 1-0, McIntyre's third of the playoffs.
Well, a lot of breakdowns there for the Pats. They should have went out the boards with the play when Helpro tried to dump it off the middle to Eberle and Dumont. They both went for the puck and they both missed it. That left McIntyre all alone, and he picked up that loose puck and walked in on top of the goaltender Risdale and beat him with a nice shot at .324 unassisted goal.
So the Blades, who love to get a lead and expand and then protect it, have just what they want early in this one. They lead at 1-0 on the McIntyre goal unassisted. Here's Friesen after it. Miracle leaves the puck nearly dangerously. Played it off the boards. Biette holds it in. Biette for Friesen on left wing out of his reach, and Calder tapped it to the line. Not out as Parkland threw a pretty solid jolt on the Blades. Number 10, Shane Calder. At commission off the boards, and Biette handles it for the Pats. To Hannes. Hannes in the neutral zone, way out of the reach of Friesen. 1-0 Saskatoon. We've played 4 minutes of the opening period. Parkland with a puck. Nick Parkland trying to move it ahead, and does. Chad Allen, good play to break it up for the Blades at the line. To Fujita. Fujita ran into Jason Smith when the puck's played back to center. A lot of play in the neutral zone early on, and that's just where the Blades would like it. Calder digs it free on right wing into the corner for Fujita. Tapped it behind the net where Jason Smith of the Pats takes over. Off the boards to Hannes. Hannes and Smith leading a pad rush into the Blade zone. Jason Smith trying to get a shot away, and Warner stayed right with him. Or make that Marty Zidane, who made a fine play in his first shift of this series. Biette trying to shoot it in, and luck out as he fired the puck into the stands, and fortunately that didn't hit anyone.
Well, one thing I like so far, Peter, about this game is it is a good pace, a lot of good hitting, but none of the cheap stuff, you know, the hacking and the slashing, the poking, the punching in the back of the head. I've yet to see that, and I like that. It's good, clean hockey, and they're going hard at each other, not like I saw with that Lethbridge series. Did that carry on in Lethbridge?
No, it certainly toned down a great deal. It started up a little bit in Game 3 in the first period, but after that, the Hurricanes did a much better job of sticking to hockey, and it really developed in a good note. Pats are really looking nervous in their own zone in this period. Cox backhands it off the back of the net. Here's Corey McKee. His pass intercepted by Russ Gronick, who has 2 playoff goals. Gronick makes his way inside the zone. Dempsey going to the net. Dempsey just couldn't get to the puck as Mark Rader made a good defensive play. And back comes Peter Cox of the Blades. Skating into the Pat zone. Dropped it for Rader. Slap shot. Risdale kicked it out on the short side. McKee played it in front as it starts to open up. Graydon Reed at center to West, leading a 3-on-2 rush. Struck it. Dempsey, hard shot, and he blasted it wide. And he certainly teed it up. Dempsey, who has 2 playoff goals.
That's the kind of shot that you want to hit the net on a 3-on-2 so that people can get rebounds. And unfortunately, Dempsey missed it. The puck comes all the way out.
14:15 to go in the opening period. Andy McIntyre, the Blades, has given Saskatoon a 1-0 lead as Russ West dumps it on Norm Miracle as the Pats change on the go. And back comes Mark Watton. Watton will flip the puck high into Pat territory. Tibbetts after it. Tibbetts banked the puck off Eberle, and Shantz takes over. Shantz with speed as he moves to center. What a pace to this game. Shantz to Dumont in the slot. Quick shot. Miracle made the save. Here's Helperl. His drive. That might have got a piece of the post. Either that or it hit Dumont as the Blades cleared over the glass and on a play. The fans are enjoying it. 1-0 Saskatoon, 13:44 to go in the first. This is Pat's Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Andrew Kemper at his own line for Saskatoon to the game's goal scorer. McIntyre, who flips it in by the Pat goal. McIntyre is the Blades in front in game 3, 1-0. He steals the puck. Tibbetts all alone in front. Risdale poked it away from Tibbetts before he could get a shot. Helperl in quite a battle with McIntyre. He gloves it ahead to Shantz. Jeff Shantz leading up Pat Rush. Ahead to Dumont. Dumont nearly got around Watton, who recovered well. Dumont a pass, Coates on left wing, and the puck swept away from him. And here's McIntyre through center ice, and he'll shoot it in deep. 1-0 Saskatoon. We played just over 7 minutes of what's been a fun first period to watch in a big playoff game here at the Agridome. Jason Smith, nice move, trying to feed Biette. Too high for him in the blue line. Warner and Biette Clyde, puck loose in front. Miracle just tapping it away from Brandon Coates as the Blades shoot it out to center, and Barkland will fire it back in. Miracle let it go right through the crease. That's pretty confident. Chad Allen can't clear it out. Held in behind the net. Biette after the loose puck for the Pats. Biette steered it in front, but the Blades do an excellent job of tying up the slot, and back they come. Duda to the line. Jason Duda way offside as Frank Bannon is. Duda's given a rough ride from Smith, and that brings this house to its feet. And I'll tell you what, John, I'm not sure I've heard the Pat fans more into it this early in a game than here tonight in a long, long time.
Well, that's true. They're enjoying what they're seeing, and they're giving the people on the ice credit for their activities, and that's what you want to see. Both teams are getting credit for nice plays and things, and this crowd is a nice crowd, and they're enjoying this so far.
Not a lot of empty seats here in this building as you take a look at the crowd, and it's a big one here at the Agridome. Nathan Dempsey lost it to the line, nearly turned it over. Friesen a pass, hit a skate, and bounces deep in Blade territory. Zidane, good play off the boards to Yakomission. Yakomission for Calder, who fails to control at center ice. Now Yakomission carries on. He lost it, and here's Friesen. Friesen darting into the zone. Friesen wrist shot. Miracle a little shaky as Hennis tried to spin around for a shot. It didn't work. Biette looked like he was a little bit hurt on the way back into the play as Fujita breaks into the zone. Dempsey pokes it away, and Biette will turn it back the other way for the Pats. Biette across the line with Hennis. Hard wrist shot. Hennis the rebound. Friesen had a couple of whacks in it, and he hit the side of the net as the Pats are coming close but can't finish off around Norm Miracle, who's been brilliant in the playoffs. Offside of the line is the call. 11:29 to go in the first period. This is what it's all about, folks. Playoff hockey. 1-0 Saskatoon. This is Pat's playoff action on Cable Regina. Home free into the zone as two former teammates in Moose Jaw, Russ West of the Pats and Peter Cox of the Blades, tie one another up. Russ Gronick plays it back, but he played it right to Cox. Eberle throws a good hit on the Blades, number 21, and then Reed can't clear it up. Derek Tibbetts in behind the net, and Peter Cox. The puck jumped off his stick. Chad Allen, good play to hold it in. For Cox, Cox in front of the net, the puck bouncing high, and Helperl gloves it out of harm's way to West for Russ Gronick at center. Gronick of the Pats, 2-on-2 at the line with West. West tried to make a nifty move and nearly worked, and it went off his skate as Cox skates into Pat territory. One-on-one with Zakuski, rides him into the inboards. Tibbetts with a puck. Derek Tibbetts' pass intercepted by West. West at center to Brandon Coates. He'll try and skate around Kemper. Kemper. A backhander, and Kemper got a piece of it and steered it wide. Shantz on left wing for Coates. Coates to Dumont, skating in front, and McIntyre back defensively. Dumont loses the handle of the blade line, and Tibbetts skates to center and directs it right to Rizdale and a Pat goal. The pace in the first 10 minutes has been outstanding. The Blades have been able to finish off their really only good chance, and the Pats have had some of their own, but can't finish, and that's the difference, is the Pats guilty of icing on this occasion.
Well, I think you hit it on the nail on the head earlier, Peter, when you said the Pats are a little bit nervous there. They seem to be, and for some reason the pucks are jumping off their stick, and they're just trying to get into the flow of this hockey game. It looks like Saskatoon is coming out early and playing an up-tempo game, but they're more relaxed and they're more with it, with the puck in their play. So hopefully the Pats can settle down, just keep the pace up, but control the puck when it comes to them.
John, I think K9's even into it tonight. Everybody else in the building is. 9:50 to go in the first period. It is a 1-0 Saskatoon lead. Andy McIntyre is the goal, and he's on the ice for the Blades, which start up in Tibbetts, and they're matched again against Shantz, Dumont, and Coates, Smith, and Zakuski, the Pat defensive pairing. Watton on the ice with Kemper, and they've seen a lot of ice time in this series for Saskatoon. Face-off to the left of Mike Rizdale. Startup waved out of the face-off circle. That's been a problem for both teams in this series. Fans trying to urge the Pats on tonight. There's no doubt about that. From the draw, Shantz wins it, knocks down McIntyre. Dion Zakuski to Brandon Coates. Coates skating to center. Dumont after the puck with Watton at the line. They'll collide in the corner. Shantz trying to dig it loose for the Pats. Dumont kicking it on the end boards. Watton knocks him to the ice. Shantz comes away with it. He's tied up as Watton and Shantz in a pushing and shoving match, and that will produce, I'm sure, the game's first penalties, and we'll tell you about them when we return. 9:32 to go in the first period. 1-0 Blades leading the Pats. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. And Watton, I would think.
McIntyre? It's like McIntyre. No, he's going to chat about it.
No, Mark Watton, I'm sure, will be on his way to the penalty box as here he comes. He's having the linesman take a look at his face. I'm not exactly sure why. But Watton checking his eye, maybe for a gouge, but I don't think we're going to have that kind of a call here tonight. We've played 10 minutes and 28 seconds, an unassisted goal by Andy McIntyre, his third of the playoffs and his second of this series, has Saskatoon in front by a score of 1-0. Biette, Friesen, Hennis for the Pats, Dempsey and Eberle, Fujita, Yakimishin, and Calder, along with Warner and Allen. And you won't find two better 16-year-old defensemen to come along in a long time than these two guys. And not only that, John, they play them both together all the time in every critical situation. Hennis breaks it up at center as the Blades steer it into the Pats zone. Dempsey missed Friesen and Biette as the puck rolls right to Norm Miracle on the blade net. He'll steer it in the corner. Friesen has the puck. Friesen with it, trying to play it in front right to Rhett Warner, who stayed at home. And the Blades defense is in fine form again tonight as it was in Game 2. Yakimishin after the loose puck with Dempsey. Dempsey fought him off well. Played it on the boards to Friesen. He's tied up. He pokes it loose, but the puck will stay in the zone because Yakimishin will beat Eberle to it. Eberle threw a good hit on Yakimishin as Dempsey plays it on the boards to Karry Biette. Biette on right wing of the Pats zone to Hennis, and Hennis will chip it to the line, not out. Long shot is kicked away by Rizdale into the stands. There's no question. I don't know, as we take a look at Mark Watton in the penalty box, adjusting what looks to be his left contact, you wonder if the Blades have maybe done a better job early on of watching what happened in the first two games. They maybe have changed their forechecking patterns a little bit, John.
Yeah, maybe, Pete. Like I said, I didn't see the games, but I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think about the new line combinations for the Pats?
Well, I think they're pretty good because I think, in particular, Jeff Shantz and Louis Dumont needed to play together. They were both struggling offensively as we take a look at Dumont and Brandon Coates and Biette and Bill Hickey to the bench. That they both needed that confidence of playing together, and Biette and Hennis and Friesen have worked so well together. You certainly can't argue with that one, John. Banham slips it inside the Pats zone. Blades lead it in the first period 1-0. Mark Rader holds it in at the line. A shot into the slot, and Graydon Reed steps away with it. Graydon Reed hits center, shoots the puck in deep. I don't think he crossed center. Russ West will touch it to, I thought, stay away from an icing call. Did Russ West not touch that puck first, or am I seeing something that I didn't see before?
Yeah, I thought he used his skate to kick it up there. The call was icing, and Russ didn't touch it with his stick, but he certainly kicked it ahead with his skate. So kind of a strange call. But I thought Reed, on a 3-on-2 like that, no sense shooting in like that when you got momentum going for you.
Interesting little call as the face-off back deep in the Pats zone. 8:10 to go in the first period. They trail it. The Pats do 1-0 in game number 3. This best-of-7 series is tied at 1 apiece as Nicholas Parkland from the face-off tries to gain some speed as he hits center. Parkland on right wing trying to move around Marty Zidane, who stayed with him well, and Mark Rader plays it up the middle and out to center ice. Russ Gronick to Russ West of the Pats. West moves it inside the zone. West hanging onto the puck well. A weak shot and an easy stop by Norm Miracle. Mark Rader on right wing. Good pass to Frank Phantom as West and Rader, two different sized individuals, collide in by the play. Jason Smith turning away from Duda neatly in his own zone. What a tower of strength this young man has been all season. Smith into the zone. A hard shot by Smith that was labeled. And a good stop by Miracle as Smith raced up the ice. It's 1-0 Saskatoon. This is Pat's Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Early on at 3:24, stands tall right now. It is 1-0 Saskatoon. 7:26 into the first as Shantz is waved out of the face-off circle for the Pats to the right of goaltender Norm Miracle, who just made a fine save on a long slap shot, but labeled by Jason Smith. McIntyre hits center ice, and he'll shoot the puck deep in Pat territory. Eberle off the glass and down the ice. I thought it was going to make its way into the bench. It didn't work that way. McIntyre chipped it and lost it. Dumont trying to make a pass in front, and Kemper stopped him on the play. Dumont took it away again. Dumont, top of the circle, trying to get away from Kemper, failed to do so as the Blades covering up well in their own zone as Tibbetts sends start up the center. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Blades. Tibbetts and McIntyre. Hard shot and missed it. Made an excellent blocker save from close range on Derek Tibbetts as Shantz pokes it towards Coates at center. Beating him to the puck was Kemper. Eberle at center ice to Louis Dumont. Dumont leaves it for Helperl, who will shoot it in, and again, he didn't take that extra step. The Pats, John, to be completely honest, are looking very panicky in this first period, and I don't know if it's the big crowd and all the hype that is leading to it.
Yeah, well, all of those factors are indicators that they are a little bit tense right now. Again, Jeff Helperl, just all he had to do was take a half a step. He wasn't being pressured. Dumont was flat-footed, so he just touched the puck ahead to Helperl to shoot it in, and he didn't cross the line. And again, the Pats are really getting smothered in their offensive zone by Saskatoon. So Saskatoon's playing really good defensively so far.
The best defensive team in the league, and they've showed it in the last 2 games of this series, and they're showing it tonight. You know, as a fan, a lucky fan with a souvenir in behind the pad net after the puck was cleared there, you know the Blades are playing well when you look at the shots on goal clock, and with 6:28 to go in a period, it's 6-5 for the Blades.
Yeah, the Pats have had one good quality shot. That last one by Jason Smith was a real good shot. Miracle got the glove, but after that, they haven't had anything inside deep or a rebound shot at all.
Friesen skating into the zone. Friesen in front of the net. The pass out of the reach of Biette, who tracks it down in behind the cage. Biette tied up on the inboards by Fujita. He loses it to Friesen on right wing. Jeff Friesen cycles the puck down low towards Biette. Warner stays at home and finds Shane Calder. Shane Calder, his long feed. Yakovichin off the boards. He didn't touch it. That should be icing, and a good call by the linesman, who get a few cat calls from the stands. And the Blades covering up extremely well, and it's going to be up to the Pats as this game and series continues to do a little bit better job of fighting through those checks. Not to say that I don't think the Pats haven't given it a fine effort here in the first period, but they'll need to turn it up a notch in the offense. defensive zone.
I agree with you. Peter, do you realize that we've got a standing room crowd here? They're letting people stand against the railing, which they never, ever let you do. I'm surprised they haven't put bleachers down by the glass, because that's where they usually put it, but this is a nice sized crowd.
I'm going to bring up a point in a moment or two when we have to talk about this crowd and the problems that some fans are having without a seat. Hannes at the blue line. He'll send it in by the net for Karry Biette. Biette on right wing. His pass right into Clark Wilm, who has him tied up on right wing. Puck loose on the boards for Buczkowski, and back comes the Blades 25. He had 3 assists in game 2. Buczkowski to the line and over on right wing. Dempsey ties him up. Clark Wilm into the right wing corner, and Buczkowski. Buczkowski for Wilm. Biette trying to tie him up on the boards. Is successful, but the Blades hold it in. Buczkowski fan on a pass as Biette will simply backhand it out to the neutral zone. And the Blades continue to smother the Pats in all ends of the ice. Dempsey in behind the net. A fine playoff with 6 points. Hannes with it ahead to Graydon Reed. Reed will backhand the puck in deep as the Pats change on the go. Mark Rader in behind his own net for Saskatoon. On left wing to Buczkowski. Buczkowski off the boards, hits Russ West and caroms to the line. Bantam danced around Smith. Frank Bantam, who has a point in his last 5 playoff games. Bantam, great pass into the slot. McIntyre tied up by Gronick as the puck shot out to center. Kemper run into by Barkland as the puck bouncing around. Graydon Reed has it. Reed going to the net, and Watton makes another fine defensive play by blocking it as the Blades flip it back into Pack territory. 4:20 to go in the opening period of the Agrodome. 1-0 Saskatoon. Russ West hits center, moving his way into the Blade zone. A good pass for Graydon Reed. Reed on left wing of the puck. His pass winds in the corner for West. West trying to move into the slot, and the Blades stay at home, but there's going to be a penalty behind the play for cross-checking. And when we continue, the Pats will have the game's first power play. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Period in the penalty box for the Blades is Andrew Kemper. He's off for cross-checking. The Pats in this series are 3-4-11 at 27% of the playoffs, 4th best in the playoffs at 19%. They'd love a tying goal in this situation. Shantz on right wing, and now there'll be a penalty, and it'll go on Brandon Coates, and that is the type of undisciplined penalty that you certainly don't need in that situation, as the Pat power play lasts a big 9 seconds.
Well, Brandon Coates, like you mentioned, undisciplined penalty, had the puck in the corner and then just relayed it off. It was going to the net. He gets it for holding the stick, so he was trying to pick somebody off, and that's something that you just got to know that you don't get away with anymore, because the referees are really watching it.
Teams will skate 5 aside as the Pats 0 for 1 on the power play. Barring more penalties, the Blades will have a whopping 9-second power play when these penalties are over. From the draw, set play. Tibbetts bursts into the Pat zone. Derek Tibbetts in behind the net where Nathan Dempsey leaves it for Louis Dumont. The puck is rolling. Dumont finds Eberle at center. Derek Eberle with a puck. He'll clear it in deep. Off the boards it goes towards Shantz. Shantz taps it. Nobody there except the Blades startup. James Startup in behind his own net with it. Dangerously in front. Lost his balance. Shantz picked his pocket. Trying to go around. Rader, who made a good defensive play. Here's Dempsey. A slap shot. He took too long. And the puck deflected well over the glass into the seats. And Dempsey, I'm sure, John, wondering why he didn't take the wrist shot in that particular situation, because the Pats also had Dumont going to the net looking for a rebound.
That's true. They got the turnover. Shantz couldn't shoot it, as a nice play by Rader as he went down, but Shantz dug it out of him and dumped it back to Dempsey. And Dempsey had a time to one-time it, but nice play by Watton to get his stick there. And if you would have let the wrister or the snapshot go low, and if Miracle would have had to make a save, Louis Dumont was cruising towards the net for a play.
1-0 is the score. 3:22 to go. The Blades with a 1-0 lead. 1:27 to go on a Brandon Coates penalty. 1:18 to go on the cross-checking minor to the Blades. Andrew Kemper. Fucci to call it. Calder one-on-one with Parkland, who stuffed him up well at the pad line as the Blades shoot it in, and Jason Smith takes over. Smith lost the puck, but then kicked it away, and what a play by Fujita. Calder from a sharp angle. Fujita, without a stick, made a terrific play to kick it to Calder for a scoring chance. Back comes the backs and Friesen. Friesen drops it off to the line, and Biette. You don't play better defensively than the Blades have in this first period. They've been outstanding in their own zone. There's going to be another Blade penalty as somebody apparently got their stick up on Karry Biette. As Fujita and Parkland pushing into one another. Nicholas Parkland playing well in this first period as Fujita now pushes Jason Smith from behind. Ryan wouldn't like to get involved in a battle with that guy, I don't think.
Well, it looks like Karry Biette took a high stick in the mouth from Fujita. The referee's going to go check it out and see if he got any blood right now. And if it is, it's going to be a 5-er. If not, it's just going to be 2 minutes. So it's going to be 2 minutes for high sticking.
2 minutes, I believe, is the call. 2:43 to go, and the Pats will be back on the power play. They'll have an opportunity with the penalties already being called in this instance. The Kemper and Coates to work 4-on-3, and with the way the Blades have clogged things up in their own zone, the Pats could use all the ice they can get.
Well, that's true. I think that's exactly what Saskatoon has been doing, is playing a really, really smart and sound 5-man game. Maybe this will open things up again for the Pats, but you got to work extra hard when there's open ices like this.
That second power play of the night, their first one lasted 9 seconds. They've done well in this series on the power play at 3 for 12. Blades clear it down the ice from the faceoff. The Pats with Eberle, Smith, Biette, and Friesen on the ice. Eberle, his pass in behind Biette, who basically stopped at the blue line, and the Blades have no trouble clearing the puck down the ice. 2:20 to go in a fine first period. It's 1-0 Saskatoon. Jason Smith to Karry Biette. Biette makes his way to the line. Biette in the slot, hooked off the puck, trying to shoot it by Yakimishin. Watton with the puck, turned it over to Friesen. Friesen back to the line and Eberle. Eberle cross ice for Smith. Smith a shot blocked by Watton. Now the Pats will be at even strength for 9 seconds, and then they'll be back on the power play as the puck is shot down the ice. They'll have to wave it off, and they do so correctly. 1:05 to go in the Pats' second power play. They trail this game 1-0. Shantz with a puck. Shantz to West inside the zone on right wing for Smith. Smith, his pass for Shantz. Shantz digs it loose in behind the net. Shantz still with a puck. Has a long look. Comes back to the line for Eberle. Eberle, a shot through a screen, deflected just wide off West stick. Braden Reed has the puck on right wing. Reed in front for Shantz. That nearly connected as Shantz couldn't transfer it from the skate to the stick. And the Blades send it down the ice. 30 seconds to go on the power play. 1:10 to go in the first period. Braden Reed moves his way through center. He'll blast it into the zone. Puck off the glass. West hustling after it along with Reed, who has the puck himself. Less than a minute to go in the opening period. Rush Stronach with Stronach in front. Loose puck in the Blades again. You don't see anybody in there for a rebound as they do a great job in front of their own zone. Dempsey flips the puck. Miracle playing it a little nonchalant as West in after it. I've been impressed with the way he's come to play here tonight. Shantz to the line and Sikuski as the power play is over. Shantz nearly lost his stick as the puck is dumped by the Blades into Pat territory. 30 seconds to go in the opening period. 1-0 Saskatoon. Sikuski to center. He'll clear the puck in behind the Blade net. Miracle leaves it there. Coach trying to dig it free, and Watton there to cover up for the Blades as Yakimishin nearly hit one of the penalty timekeepers out of play, and a faceoff comes up back in Saskatoon territory with 17 seconds to go in the opening period. What a great crowd here tonight for Game 3 at the Agrodome. The point I was trying to make is there was an Amway convention in here on the weekend. They had to move out the bleachers that are usually seated at the one end of the building.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael Kent, the Agrodome manager, because of the way the Pats drew in round 1, didn't think they'd need them. Oops. I made a mistake.
Yeah, and it's going to be some disappointed people. Yeah. And they haven't even got the chair set up at the lower ring, too, right on the ice level, which they usually have done in the past.
Just what we need when we get so many people in here in the first place. Fujita moves into the zone, takes a hit from Eberle as the puck is cleared to the neutral zone. 5 seconds to go in the first period, and period number 1 is over. And the Blades take advantage of a pad giveaway to score the game's lone goal. I thought, John, to their credit, the Pats did force the issue most of the period, but the Blades, and they do it better than anybody in this league, they sit and wait for their chances to happen. They got one clear-cut opportunity, and they buried it, and the Pats were around Miracle, but really did not have too many dynamite opportunities.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Saskatoon played just a perfect road type of period. They didn't have to get fancy. They had one opportunity, they buried it. The Pats had 2 power play opportunities, although one was a little bit shorter. Not a lot of pressure, but some pressure. But I think they got to be quite happy with that period. Say, okay, we got that one out of our system. We're not blown out. Still within grasp. Let's regroup and do some better things.
Nonetheless, it's been a fine night so far in front of a huge crowd here at the Agrodome, which has to make everybody happy. And not only that, the folks are into it tonight, Judd.
Yeah, that's true, and it's nice to see for a change some good spirit here and a lively hockey game to start. Not a lot of chippiness, a few penalties that came late, only 1 goal, so that was interesting.
1-0 Saskatoon after 1. Our first period stats summary is next. This is Pat's Playoff Hockey at Cable Ridge. Period number 1 is Shantz, Coates, Dumont, Zakuski, and Dempsey to start it off for the Pats here in the second period. Fujita, Calder, Yakimish, and Watton, and Kemper for the Blades. And I would say give period 1 to the Blades. John, they played their style of hockey, although you can't take anything away from the Pats' effort. I think they just have to do some things a little bit harder and a little smarter.
That's true. When they get the opportunity, they got to make it count, and they're not going to probably get too many opportunities. So notice that, know that, and when you do get a chance, bear down extra hard.
Second period underway, 1-0 Saskatoon on a first period goal by Andy McIntyre. Shantz with a puck in the corner, tied up by Fujita. Shantz trying to dig it free for Coates. Coates in the left wing corner, plays it to the right wing side in Dumont. Dumont with a puck. Dumont into the slot. Watton is there to scoop it up, played it to the boards, not out. Dumont towards Shantz. The puck slides all the way back to Pat territory. Dion Zakuski for defense partner Dempsey off the boards and chipped ahead to Jeff Shantz. Shantz trying to get loose inside the Blade zone. Wrist shot, big rebound. Dumont after the loose puck. Dumont played it in front, but Miracle makes the save, and there you see it. The Blades again have the Pats cleared well from out of the front of their netline.
Well, you notice though also that Shantz created an opportunity by skating wide with the puck across the blue line. That's what the Pats have to do. They got to create some opportunities. Saskatoon is not going to give them anything on a 5-on-5 in the defensive zone. You got to create your opportunities when you're coming into the zone, getting a good quality shot, a rebound, or whatever it may be. But you're not going to get very many, if at any, chances when they're 5-on-5. The Saskatoon just too smart.
No question about it. Biette on the ice with Hannes and Friesen, the top offensive trio for the Pats in the playoffs. Startup along with Startup. And, of course, the other players, McIntyre has the puck in Tibbetts. McIntyre, he can really drill it, and he nearly handcuffed Mike Risdale with a long one. Risdale just enough of the glove to make the save. Jeff Friesen up the middle. A pass did not connect with Trevor Hannes. Friesen lost it. Here's Tibbetts. He's got a breakaway. Tibbetts it all alone. Risdale, a phenomenal stop by Derek Tibbetts. His second big save off of Tibbetts in this hockey game to keep the Pats within a goal. And a turnover nearly proved costly, but that is terrific playoff goaltending as the fans give Risdale a big round of applause.
And he certainly deserves it, as there was a loose puck and broke away. Tibbetts got behind the defense as a nice play by Startup, who picked up the loose puck off a bad bounce. The Pats defenseman got caught flat-footed, and he sent in Derek Tibbetts all alone, and he went to the backhand, but I'll tell you, Mike Risdale did a great job to read that, to stick out the old toe, and smother that play.
Risdale makes an outstanding save to keep the Pats trailing by just one. Dempsey, nice move into the zone. Dempsey cutting in front of the net of the puck, roll off his stick. Reed in the corner, he tries to play it, hit a stick and bounce to the side of the goal. Gronick after the puck, comes free. Gronick will try and cut out in front. Backhander blocked in front by Zidane. Here's Russ West in front. Reed, he's down! Russ West and Reed at 1:42 into the second period. The Pats and Reed's second of the playoffs have tied this at 1 as the Agrodome goes wild.
Well, great play by that line. Russ West did a nice job, but there's Gronick working really hard, keeping the puck alive. There's West with his head up. He could have shot, but he put his head up, which was a smart play. Braden Reed did a nice thing by going to the far post, putting his stick on the ice. He got the goal-mouth pass and tapped it in behind Miracle. That's a beautiful play by that threesome.
Playoff goal of the season, number 20, Braden Reed. Assist number 12, Russ West. And number 15, Russ Gronick. That's 20 from 12 and 15.
So all three Pats get in on the equalizer at 1:42. And John, the Pats needed some early offensive satisfaction, and it was the hard work, really, by Gronick that started that whole play.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what you have to do, like I mentioned, 5-on-5, you're not going to get a lot. But what happened was Gronick beat a man, created the odd man situation. Rust had a 2-on-1, and all he did was fire a nice pass. So that's what you have to do. The Blades are too good 5-on-5, but you create the odd man situation, and you can beat them.
Duda, good lead pass to Clark Wilm, who's had a great playoff for the Blades. Working one-on-one with Barkland. Barkland is going to take a penalty for pulling Clark Wilm down.
And Wilm fell down.
And I'll tell you what, Barkland couldn't have blown him over harder than he touched him. And when we return, the Blades will have their first power play of this hockey game. They trail, or at least the Pats and the Blades are tied at 1. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Power play, Nicholas Barkland for what in basketball, John, would be referred to as a touch foul. And now the Pats, who have killed off penalties at 87% in the playoffs, will try and kill off another one. They have done an excellent job in this series of killing off penalties. The Blades are 1 for 12 on the power play, but on the year, the Blades have the 7th best power play in the league, so they can do a number with a man-power advantage. Mark Watton, who makes this power play go, keeps the puck alive. Back to the blue line for Buczkowski. Long shot, Risdale the save, the rebound, and Shantz swats it with a backhand out to center. 1-1 is the score. The Pats tied it on Braden Reed's second of the playoffs from Gronick and West at 1:42 of this second frame. Biette fans clearing it the first time and can't get it out the second time. Fujita on left wing to Calder. Calder in front of the net. It belongs to Eberle, and Eberle makes no mistake as he hammers it off the glass and down the ice. A minute to go, and the penalty to Nicholas Barkland. Brett Warner to Buczkowski, who fell down unattended on the play, is Reed after him. Warner with a loose puck. Red Warner, nice pass at center. Wilm ahead to Benham. He splits the defense, but then Dempsey and Zakuski combine to make sure he doesn't get loose. This game is picking up in physical intensity, too, as Yakimishin with his stick draped on Gronick as they'll push and shove behind the play with a patch clear it down the ice again. 30 seconds to go on the Blades' first power play of the game. They're operating at 15% on the power play in the playoffs as Warner blasts it in deep in Pat territory. Allen on the boards, in behind the net for Benham. The pass fails to connect. Dempsey has a chance, now another chance to steer it out, and he makes no mistake as the Pats have done an excellent job of penalty killing in this instance. Miracle on the boards to Duda with 8 seconds remaining in the Blade power play as they look to get one last rush started up the ice. Played just over 4 minutes of the second period of the Agrodome, and the game is tied at 1. And the Pats do an excellent job of killing off the Blade power play. Startup in the corner, dogged by Shantz. Coach trying to help out as well. Puck loose on the board. Zakuski, good play at the blue line to hold it in. Shantz trying to get loose from Startup on the boards. Shantz gets away from Startup. Good work by startup defensively as Benham moves for the Blades to center. Hello! What a check by Zakuski, and there's going to be a penalty for roughing. And this place explodes, and for good reason. We'll be back with more of the second period at Eberle Regina after this. Here comes the hit. If that's roughing, well, I'm going to leave it right there.
Well, the player had the pocket. Zakuski just caught him with good. Anything, it could have been an elbow, but roughing definitely not. It was a clean hit. That certainly stirred up the crowd. Let's see if that can reflect into some good play by the Pat penalty killing crew.
Pat's just finished killing off a Blade power play just seconds ago, and now the Blades, 5 minutes into this second period of their second power play of the game, they're 0 for 1. Wachkowski to center on McIntyre, racing into the zone on right wing. Puts on the brakes. He has the Blade goal. Wachkowski has shot Risdale. Big rebound. Startup with it on right wing again for Saskatoon. James Startup to the blue line. Wachkowski and Startup. Startup working his way on right wing. Down into the corner with a puck. Startup drops it off for McIntyre. Back in front. Startup deflected it, and Risdale makes the save and hangs on to the short side. A little bit of pushing and shoving, but not a whole lot of extracurricular activity around the Pats number 1 that time.
Well, Peter, if we ever can say that there's a good penalty to take, and if the Pats can kill this off, I'm going to say that's a good penalty. Because that, what you like to see is you like to see those open ice hits, stirs up your team, gets the other team to keep their head up, and that could be a turning point if the Pats can kill this one off and keep the momentum of that. Because those are nice hits.
1:22 to go in Dion Zakuski's penalty for roughing. It's a 1-1 tie. Game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Division semifinal. Game number 4, certainly one you don't want to miss, slated for Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. A holiday start, and there'll be a holiday atmosphere, I'm sure. Fujita threw a screen, and Risdale found it at the last second to make a whale of a save. As Shantz, one-on-one with Wachkowski. Wrist shot, an easy save for Miracle. Shantz on top of him. He throws it loose to a teammate. A minute to go on the Blade. Second consecutive power play. Yakimishin works it into the zone. He'll clear it in. Smith off the boards with Biette. The puck is punched off the boards. Calder, nice play to Watton. Watton for Fujita. Biette got a stick on in behind the net. Back to the line. Watton, great play to hold it in. Wachkowski a shot. Puck bouncing around in front. The Pats clear it to the line. Not out. Wachkowski in front. Smith with a chance to move it up. He lost the handle. Watton cross ice. Gets it back. Long shot. Risdale kicked that into the corner with a good skate save. Blades on the power play. Watton fan on the shot, and that'll allow Biette to skate his way to center. Karry Biette into the zone. A wrist shot, and again, Miracle to save. 20 seconds remaining on the Blade power plays. The Pats were slow in getting their 4th penalty killer out of the ice. Wachkowski shoots it into the left wing corner of the Pats zone for Yakimishin. Yakimishin in the corner, and Calder. Calder on the boards to Yakimishin. Yakimishin still with the puck. Works it Calder in front for Fujita, deflected away. Zakuski's onside as he jumps out of the penalty box, but he lost control of the puck against Warner. Here's Graydon Reed in front. Stop on Bronick as McIntyre takes a hit at center. This place is electric tonight. Graydon Reed cuffed it up at the blue line. McIntyre in front of the net. Puck is loose, and Dempsey broke it up in the nick of time as here's Russ West, who has an assist to Gronick. 2-on-1 with Eberle. Gronick with Eberle going to the front of the net, and Red Warner makes an outstanding defensive play to break it up for the Blades. We've played 7.5 minutes of the second period. What a game it's been. It's 1-1. Here's West again. West moving into the zone. His backhander blocked. And the Blades will carry it up. Fans wanted a penalty. Here comes Calder. Calder trying to clear it in front. Runs into Helper. Due to the loose puck, looking for the trailer. He finds Rader. Shot Risdale. Goes to his knees to kick it up. Here's Duda of the Blades in behind it, all alone in front, but Helper will broke it up. And here's Friesen and West, 2-on-1. Back for the Pats. Friesen West. He had it outside, and he flipped it over the glass. And on a play. This is outstanding playoff entertainment. 11:59 to go in the second period. It's a 1-1 tie. This is Pat's Hockey at the Agrodome.
Pats have really picked it up. Look like they're playing really composed now instead of that nervousness in the first period.
Well, just as you say that, here comes the Blades. Start up wrist shot, and Rizdale again confidently makes the save. Biette through center. The pace is really picking up. Biette trying to get it to Friesen in front, just out of his reach. Hannes will backhand it in behind the net. Kemper has his man tied up. Hannes is alone in front, and Biette nearly made a great pass through traffic to get him the puck. As Biette steering down Mark Watton, is Miracle knowing that the Pats are racing into the zone with more confidence in this period.
Yeah, the Pats are skating a lot better in the second period, and they're making things happen. They've got Saskatoon reeling right now, and I hope the Pats can capitalize on some of those opportunities. Had a nice chance earlier there with that goal-mouth pass from Friesen to West, but the puck rolled a little bit, and West one-timed it and chipped it high over the glass.
John, you have to be impressed with the way that Russ West has played tonight. I think as good an effort as he's had all year for the Pats. Hannes from the draw. A weak shot. Miracle will make the save and hang on as Fujita and Biette have their sticks up on one another.
Yeah, I like the way West is playing, and I also like the way Graydon Reed is skating and hitting. Didn't see a lot of hitting from Graydon Reed throughout the season, but he's certainly turned his game up a few notches, and that whole line with Gronick has been playing very, very well.
Biette, Hannes, and Friesen the pad line with Dempsey and Zakuski on the ice. The Blades' #1 offensive unit throughout the year with Fujita, Calder, and Yakumishin. Warner and Allen are the defensive pairing as Fujita wins the draw. Yakumishin plays it for Calder. Calder up the middle. Friesen is there to steer it back into Blade territory. Miracle leaves it side of the net for Allen, who got away from a check. Runs into Hannes in the corner. Fujita with a puck. Fujita rips it back the other way. Biette will be the first on the puck for the Pats. Biette a confident play on the end boards for Hannes. Hannes in front of it. Friesen. Good deflection. Miracle. A fine toe save off of Friesen, who got loose for a deflection, as only that young man can do sometimes. Dempsey in his own zone for the Pats. The Pat line. Hannes put it right on Fujita's stick. Nice move inside the zone. Hard shot. Ed Rizdale going the other way, and he nearly gave the Blades back the lead. Here's Calder in the corner. Calder on the end boards with Zakuski. Shantz to help out on defense. Does a good job for the Pats, and Hannes will break away. 1-1 is the score. 10.5 minutes to go in the second period here at the Agrodome. Game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Division Final, and this one is living up to its billing so far tonight. Friesen taps it back to the Pat line, and Eberle cross ice for Zakuski for Eberle. Eberle one-hands it gingerly to Dumont, who has great speed as he lopes toward the front of the net. Kemper stayed with him effectively. Here's Dumont in the corner. Dumont back to the blue line. Helperl held it in. There'll be a Blade penalty. Chance it, but pokes it. 2 whacks at it. It's still loose. Rizdale on the bench for an extra attacker. Shantz sends it back the other way. And thank goodness for the Pats that the puck didn't go straight back into the net. Puck's still alive as startup finally touches it.
That was a dangerous play, like you mentioned, to Shantz. There was going to be a penalty. The Pats had the puck, and Shantz got a loose one in the corner. He blindly fed it out in front, missed everybody, went all the way down the ice into the corner.
When we return, the Pats will have their third power play of the game. It's a 1-1 tie. 9:46 to go in the second period. This is Pats playoff hockey from the Agrodome. Kemper in the penalty box for the Blades for the second time tonight. The call, high sticking, and the Pats on the power play for the third time tonight. They and the Blades are 0 for 2 with the manpower advantage as Rader and Dumont slapping sticks at one another. 1-1 is the score. McIntyre for the Blades in the first, and Graydon Reed on a terrific setup from Russ West and Russ Gronick have come back to tie it at 1 here in the second period. Coates working hard on this shift. Dumont in the left wing corner. Back to the blue line and Eberle. He'll slide it back to Dumont. Trying to cut in front, and Rader blocks it as he'll fire it down the ice. Good work by Blades defenseman Mark Rader, who had lost his glove on the play.
The Pats had what they wanted. 2 people in front, the puck at the point, but Eberle couldn't get the shot through.
1:25 to go on the Pat power play as Eberle slides it in behind the Blade net. Miracle clears it. Dumont has the puck roll off his stick. Fujita to the line. Jason Smith, good play to hold it in. Puck bounces in front. Chance for Coates, a one-timer, and not a whole lot on it. As Miracle made the save. Coates knocked down, but I think he embellished that one just a little.
Nice play that by Jeff Shantz to one-time it across the slot to Brandon Coates. And yeah, he one-timed it, but he didn't get quality wood on that one. I'd like to have that one back again, I'm sure.
8:52 to go as you take a look at Jeff Shantz, who is really working hard tonight. And Norm Miracle, well, what can you say about this guy?
Yeah, he's really standing tall tonight again. Both goaltenders are putting on a clinic tonight, and that makes the game, I think, that much more exciting when you really have to work hard and earn your goals.
1:06 to go, the Pats power play. Their third of the hockey game. Biette comes out of the ice with Friesen. Dempsey and Jason Smith as Watton fires it off the glass. Good play by Zakus. Make that Dempsey to hold it in. Friesen chops it ahead for Hannes with it on right wing to Friesen. Friesen to the blue line, and Dempsey through a screen, and there's that pocket that the Blades do a good job of creating. It's almost like an offensive line in football. They allow the netminder to step up just as an offensive line would allow a quarterback to step up.
Yeah, that's exactly where the forwards have to get in front of him. Don't allow him to get out there, or the defenseman has to not shoot at the net, but maybe fire it off to the side where the winger is standing. We're going to have a bunch of penalties here. Karry Biette was mixing up with Watt, and there was another punch thrown by a Blade. Let's see if that was captured by the referee. I don't know, but it looks like it is, as two Blades are going to go to the penalty box. Nope. Number 10, Calder is also going in.
Watton and Calder are going up.
And that was certainly warranted because there was that extra punch by Calder as Watton and Biette did poke at each other, but let's see if the referee evens it up. But if not, the Pats could be a two-man advantage here.
Looks like the Pats could have a two-man advantage indeed, as Lauren Mulligan standing in the door of the Blade bench. Karry Biette yapping at Watton and Calder, and they're yapping back. The intensity alive and well. This is what it's all about.
Looks like, yeah, there it is. It's up there for a double, a minor, 2 minors to Saskatoon and only 1 to the Pats. So the Pats are going to be 5-on-3. Big advantage here.
These are the kind of situations in 1-1 type games that you can't let slip away. And the Blades taking the extra penalty in the altercation is Lauren Mulligan letting the referee have it. And the Pats with a golden opportunity with 8:35 to go in the second period. And as you see, 3 Blades in the penalty box to the Pats, 1. Calder 2 minutes for roughing. Biette takes 2 minutes, I believe, for roughing is indeed the call. And Watton 2 minutes for a stick infraction. And here's a great chance for the Pats as the Go Pats Go chant starts at a sold-out Agronome where they're standing in the aisles to watch this one. A 2-man advantage for the Pats. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, the Pats really have to start with the face-off. They've been losing too many face-offs tonight, especially in this situation. You got to win the draw, get control of the puck on a 5-on-3.
Interesting that you bring that up. And the Pats win this one. Smith to Dempsey. Pats work 5-on-3 for 40 more seconds. Pats are 1 out of 2 on the playoffs, 5-on-3. Smith with a puck, cross ice, Friesen fan on a one-timer. The puck belongs to Dumont. Dumont to the Pats to the blue line and Smith. Smith for Dumont. Dumont patiently to the blue line and Smith to Dempsey. Dempsey had a roll off his stick. He receives it back to the blue line and Smith. Smith for Dempsey. Dempsey down low and Friesen. Friesen patiently to Smith. Smith, quick shot of there, nearly found the top corner. 12 seconds to go on the Pet 2-man advantage. Dempsey to Friesen, cross ice, Smith, one time to Howitzer off the end boards. 3 seconds to go on the 2-man advantage. Smith is shot, it's blocked, so the Blades are just 1 man short now. Dempsey with it, down low to Friesen in front, chance, tied up well by Allen. Good play by Chad Allen, and the Blades are a minute away from dodging a big bullet here in the second period. Pats operating on their 4th power play of the game. They're 0 for 3. Chance on left wing of the Blade zone to Dumont. Dumont tied up on the boards by Warner, who would love a stoppage in play.
Yeah, way too many Pats are standing behind the net and off to the side. You got to plant somebody in front of the net. You got to take some heat. You got to take a shot from the point. They just didn't do that. When they did do it, guess where Dumont was? Behind the net. Shantz was off to his side, and the puck was lying in the slot. You just can't have that happen. Wasting too many opportunities.
46 seconds to go on the Pats' fourth power play of the hockey game, as they're that far away from letting a two-man advantage slip by. And those are tough to take in a 1-1 game in Game 3 of a best-of-7 Eastern Division semifinal. Reed out there with Gronick and West. They've supplied the Pats goal. Dempsey in behind the net to Graydon Reed, who circles out on right wing. Graydon Reed with Reed hanging on patiently. A slap shot blocked at the point of attack by Raider. Now Reed a long shot. Miracle jumps and hangs onto it, and Raider and West dance and a little Watusi to the left of the blade net with 30 seconds to go.
At least we had Russ West standing in front of the net, and you notice that Miracle wanted to come out to cut the angle, but West wouldn't let him pass that crease line. Smart play. Defenseman got to get that puck through to the shot.
Quite a hockey game so far here tonight. 7:05 to go in the second period. A 1-1 tie. McIntyre's third of the playoffs. Way back in the first period, tied the hockey game, or at least gave the Blades a 1-0 lead, and then the Pats on a pretty three-way passing play. Gronick to West, dandy pass across to Reed, who put it by Miracle at 1:42 of this period. Tied it. 24 seconds now to go in the Pats' fourth power play of the hockey game. And John, when we witnessed Game 1 in the Lethbridge series, some of the Pat fans shaking their heads, hoping the Pats could get on track with this power play. It was the power play that kind of let them down in that opening game.
Yes, that's true. And again, a critical face-off here with the Graydon Reed wins it.
Reed won it cleanly. Dempsey to Eberle. Back to Dempsey at the blue line. He fires it into the corner. Reed tries to go cross ice. Raider blocked it. Puck knocked out of the zone because Reed and Dempsey didn't communicate well enough, and nobody got it. Now the Blades nearly bust up out of the zone. 5 seconds to go, and the Pat power play as Dempsey moves inside Blade territory. A weak shot. Miracle makes the save, and he'll hang on for a stoppage. So the Pats blow a two-man advantage, and it remains tied at 1. 6:31 to go in the second. This is Pats playoff hockey on Cable Regina. It's a 1-1 tie at a sold-out Agrido. From the draw, Shane Calder flipped it to the line. Barkland pulls it in. He hit Dumont right in the shoulder. Nobody can locate it. Coach trying to dig it away from Warner. And again, the outstanding 16-year-old defenseman of the Blades ties it up against the boards for a stoppage. A much better second period for the Pats, who have really come on. They have fired 15 shots on Norm Miracle in this second period, John, after only managing 7 in that first period.
Yes, and opposed to only 10 for Saskatoon. So that was a good change of events for the Pats. They really got their act together, and they played a better period so far.
Chance on the ice again for the Pats with Dumont and Coates. They're matched against Startup, McIntyre, and Tibbetts. Smith and Barkland are the pack defensemen. Watton and Kemper on the ice for the Blades. Face off to the right of netminder Norm Miracle. Startup and Shantz. We'll see who wins this draw. They say no. Linesman Lombard waves Shantz out of the face-off circle. Not a bad deal for the Pats in this instance, because Dumont is a pretty good face-off man in his own right. Not as good as Shantz, however, who is the Pats' best in that category. So now Dumont to take it. Startup wins that one cleanly. Tibbetts side of the net, it'll roll off his stick, but Miracle clears it into the corner. A lot of clutching and grabbing going on. Blades do it better than anybody. The Pats have done a nice job to fight through it and create chances here in this second period. Dumont with a puck in behind the net. Dumont in front for Coates. He's knocked down. Shantz was knocked down from behind as Watton clears fires it off McIntyre's stick deep in Pat territory. Smith on the end boards, along with Barkland, and Barkland plays it to Dumont, who has 4 playoff goals. The Coates at center. Pat's trying to make it a 3-on-2. Here's Shantz, a bullet-like drive, but he shot it wide as Barkland will send it back into Blade territory. 5.5 minutes to go in period number 2. It's a 1-1 tie. Brett Warner shoots it in behind the net as the Blades complete a wholesale change on the go. Smith to the pad line and Friesen. He'll step to center and shoot it in as Hannes gives chase. Miracle way out of the net. Friesen hit towards Hannes. Puck loose on the boards, and Buchkowski will tap it to center, and Clark will. Will knocked off the puck. Bantam is offside as he touches the puck inside the line. 5:07 to go in the second. It's a 1-1 tie. That's in the Blades. This is game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Division semifinal. This is Pat's Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. A 1-1 tie at the Agrido. Karry Biette at center. He'll shoot it in deep. Friesen off the boards with Allen. Friesen keeps it alive into the slot in behind Hannes, who pokes it into the corner for Biette. Karry Biette behind the net. Raider is there for the Blades. He'll clear it to Buchkowski to the line, held in by Dempsey. Hannes, nice pass to Friesen. Friesen in behind the net, and Biette. Biette trying to work loose, played it in front. Dempsey out of midair keeps it alive. Hannes to the blue line. Zakuski looking in front. The puck deflected off Miracle, and then Friesen went over the glass and out of play.
Good hard work shift for that line of Hannes, Friesen, and Biette. They created some scoring opportunities. Nothing really major, but the key is they got the momentum. They're still pushing the Saskatoon Blades, and it's been all play in the Saskatoon territory so far this second period, resulting in one Pat goal to tie up this game 1-1. But again, the territorial advantage has definitely shifted Regina's ways, but unfortunately, they've only got 1 goal to show for that effort.
Fans enjoying this one, not much doubt about that. Calder from the draw, Blades win another. Calder, an 85-point man during the regular season, stripped of it by Reed of the blue line, but 3 Blades converge to knock him off the biscuit. Marty Zidane at center ice to Calder, in behind him, that's offside on the Blades at the blue line.
And the Blades just cannot seem to get anything going offensively. That's about the 3rd offside that they've had in the last 5 minutes, and just pucks bouncing, and they're having a player cross the line and the other guy inadvertently taking it in. So their offense has been really stymied the second period, and that's great news for the Pats.
Lauren Mulligan, a look of concern. Russ West, happy to be a regular in the lineup and proving that he belongs there so far in this game. Set up the Pats' lone goal early in this period by Graydon Reed. Reed controls from the face-off. He'll backhand it down the ice. They wave off the ice. Mark Raider in behind his own net. Reverse the breakout neatly for Calder. Shane Calder of Saskatoon, skating with speed at center. He'll clear it right on Risdale. Risdale will hang on, take a spray of snow from Fujita, who, that act probably would have awarded him an academy a couple of weeks ago. Helperl didn't knock him down hard enough to push him down, let alone hurt him. But you notice he's back up now, taking the odd shot at whoever he can get a little piece of.
Yeah, that was a good act that time. Like you mentioned, he went streaming in there, and Helper, all he did was get between him and the goalie and flip him inadvertently, and Fujita looked like he was shot with a cannon.
Fujita, what a year he had. 56 goals, 54 assists for a guy that 2 years ago was outright released by the Tri-City Americans. Not a good move on their part. Great news for the Blades. Take a look at Risdale lying on the puck.
And we saw the replay, and it was kind of really non-contact on that one.
That's when the draw and cover up well in their own zone. Zakuski to try and break the puck out for West off the boards neatly to Graydon Reed. Reed steps away from a check. Zakuski carries up. Dion Zakuski slap shot well wide. Zakuski will play it to the open wing in Blade territory. Acquisition off the boards, not out. Jason Smith shoots it to the open wing this time. Raider into the corner with West. Graydon Reed the loose puck. To the blue line, Zakuski. Zakuski on left wing into the corner, and Reed trying to get away from the checking. Reed turns and fires it in behind the net. Raider is there. Raider elects to go back instead of playing it for Calder. West trying to knock it away from him. Referee Kevin Mintz wants them to move it, and they do. Gronick for West on the boards. Gronick knocked down by Fujita, who's giving West the business, and finally a stoppage in play.
Well, Fujita cross-checked Graydon Reed and Gronick twice in the back, knocked one guy down, speared somebody. Looks like Munch is not wanting to call too many on Fujita as a little frustration sets up for Saskatoon, as Raider wanted to whistle a long time ago and just couldn't get it, as the referee wanted the play to continue.
Blades playing their patient style. The Pats, to their credit, have really forced the issue to Saskatoon in the second period. I guess the only unfortunate thing for the Pats, John, is they've only been able to score once. But while they force the issue, the Blades do not give you a lot of tremendous scoring chances.
Well, that's true. And like I mentioned, when you get your opportunities, you got to capitalize, and the Pats did so far with that nice goal by Graydon Reed on a goal-mouth pass from Russ West.
Shantz wins the draw. Dumont back to the line. Eberle able to hold it in for Coates. Tries his shot. Fanned on it. Watton stays right with him. Shantz in the corner. There's a mess in front of the net. Shantz to the blue line. He put it right on McIntyre's stick, and Tibbetts failed to control the lead pass. Dumont doesn't know where it is at center ice as Kemper shoots it to Risdale on the pad net for Dempsey. Dempsey turned away from McIntyre off the boards to Coates. Coates, good pass to Dumont. Works 2-on-2 with Shantz. Shantz to the zone, fakes the shot. Shantz, a wrist shot and miracle from a very sharp angle, but he'll be hard to beat from there. 2:10 to go in the second period. It's 1-1 Pats and the Blades. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Underway, and the Pats with 55 seconds to go on a power play in a 1-1 tie. This is game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Division semifinal. The Pats are 0 for 5 on the power play tonight as Dempsey clears it in deep towards Biette, and Fujita steals it from him. Here comes the Blade captain. He'll cruise into the zone. Dropped it for Calder. Calder in front of the net, and Smith combines to break it up. Risdale doesn't know where the puck was, but the Pats cover up in the nick of time. Back comes Trevor Hennis. Hennis works his way into the zone with Friesen. Friesen cutting into the slot. Dempsey, his shot deflected. What a stop by goaltender Miracle, and I think Jason Smith is going to take an interference penalty. What a save by the Blades, number 35, and now the Blades are going to find themselves in a power play situation because Jason Smith knocked over Miracle, and he's going to the penalty box.
Well, I'd love to see that one in the replay, Peter, if we can see it. Jason Smith was cruising in front, but I don't know why Jeff Friesen didn't hammer that puck to the slot. He decided to dump it off. Here it is. Look at Friesen. Quality placement. Gives it to Watch Smith. He's pushed. He got cross-checked. Bad call.
Well, an interesting one at that, but now the teams will play at 5 aside for 20 seconds, and then the Blades will enjoy their third power play opportunity of the hockey game. We played 40 seconds of the third period, a 1-1 tie in this pivotal game 3 of a series that's tied at 1. Brett Warner in his own zone for the Blades. Up the middle, Dion Zakuski. Nice play to block it. Ahead for Friesen. Friesen inside Blade territory. Good drop pass to Biette. Biette made a nice move on startup. Had the puck roll off his stick. Zakuski to Friesen. He's got time again. Fakes the shot and nearly slid it in the far corner. Now the Blades are on the power play as Chad Allen shoots it in. Their, I believe, 4th power play now of the night. Friesen banned on a clearing attempt. Here's Watton, slap shot, Risdale. The save and hangs on to the rebound.
Again, Jeff Friesen, quality chance. Could have hammered a slap shot, faked it. He might have lost control of the puck, and sometimes you don't want to hit a slap shot if the puck is behind you or too far in front of you. You don't get good wood. But he regrouped, got a wrist shot, but missed the net.
Good opportunities for both teams early in this third period in a 1-1 tie. 1:21 to go, and Jason Smith's penalty for interference on the 4th Blade power play. They're 0 for 3 with the power play so far tonight. They gain control in Pat territory. Tibbetts with a puck. Tibbetts, side of the net. McIntyre lost the handle, and Gronick with a chance to clear, failed to, and now Dempsey makes no mistake as he shoots the puck down the length of the ice. Butchkowski in behind his own net. 7th for Saskatoon. He has 6 points in the playoffs. Paul Buczkowski hits center ice. Buczkowski with a puck. He'll shoot it in deep. Puck rolls on left wing to James Startup. Startup on the boards. Tibbetts for Startup in the left wing corner to Tibbetts. Derek Tibbetts cross ice for Buczkowski. Buczkowski to Watton. Watton will play it in behind the net. Eberle has McIntyre tied up, but the puck belongs to Startup. James Startup with 30 seconds to go on the Blade power play. Startup on left wing with the puck. Startup with it. Back to the blue line and Watton, who goes to his knees to glove it down and pass it. Startup to the blue line. Buczkowski hard shot. Risdale kicked that away. Pat's trying to clear it out of the zone. They can't. Watton held it in. Tibbetts to the blue line and Startup. Startup at the left point in front, deflected, and Eberle tried to clear it out. He hit Bronick with it, and it allows the Blades to hold it in. 7 seconds to go on the power play. Tibbetts with a puck. Tibbetts, side of the net and left wing to Startup. Startup down low, the puck bouncing around in front, and Eberle controls it as the Pats dodge a bullet, killing off the Blades' 4th power play chance. 17-17 to go in the 3rd. It's a 1-1 tie. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Kept it away from him as Yakovic threw a hit. Shantz carries on. Shantz to the line and Dumont in close quarters. Dumont still with the puck, trying to make an inside-out move. It didn't work, and Fujita breaks it up for Saskatoon to Yakovic. Cross ice for Calder. Calder on right wing, working one-on-one with Barkland. Calder on the boards for Yakovic. Yakovic into the slot for Fujita, swept away, and Coates will tap it to Shantz in the neutral zone. Shantz with the pass. Shantz to the line and over, and Dumont stepped across just barely on the offside. This is Pat's Playoff Hockey and Cable Regina. 1. Coates holds it into the line. He'll poke it into Blade territory. Mark Watton takes over for Startup. Ahead it goes to Tibbetts. Tibbetts will clear it in deep. Risdale deflects it off the glass. Puck is loose in the corner. McIntyre shows his strength in behind the net for Tibbetts to the blue line. Kemper a shot deflected off the base of the post by Startup. Now Risdale bangs it out of harm's way as the Blades with some good forechecking and nearly took the lead. Barkland on the end boards. Got away from McIntyre. Good work by the Pats, number 23. As Barkland skates to center, steps to the line and clears it in. Miracle in behind the net for defenseman Andrew Kemper. Kemper off the boards to Yakovic. Yakovic, good pass. Here's Tibbetts with Startup. Tibbetts in front. Startup. The puck's loose in the slot area. Cleared, not out. Yakovic, good play to hold it in for the Blade. He carries in behind the net, and Dion Zagduski with a fine defensive play to break it up for the Pats to Karry Biette. Biette with Dumont. Biette breaking toward the net, and it roll off his stick and a back pass for Dempsey. Dempsey holds it in. He'll cut into the slot, and Dempsey with one extra move loses the puck, and here comes Ryan Fujita. Fujita fakes a shot, now lets it go, and Risdale made the save. We've played nearly 5 minutes of the 3rd period. It remains 1-1. Karry Biette hits center ice. He'll shoot it on Miracle. The blocker save. And Warner just pounces on it and drills it to center. Eberle on the ice for the Pats. He'll shoot it in deep. And Warner will control in behind his own net. Brett Warner for the Blades. Off the boards. Biette runs into Calder, but Calder manages to slide it to center, and Eberle will hammer it right back in Blade territory. 1-1 is the score here in the 3rd period. Chad Allen for Shane Calder. Friesen to Eberle. Derek Eberle ahead it goes off of Hannes's stick. Apparently not, as it's going to be an icing call against the Pats. 14:36 to go in the 3rd. It's a 1-1 tie. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Here's Marty Zidane of the Blades through a screen. Risdale just enough to keep that one out as West of the Pats moves into Blade territory. Puts on the brakes, leaves it for Reed. Reed and Whelm bump in the corner. Reed trying to keep it alive. He takes a shot from Buczkowski as Clark Whelm digs it free to Frank Bantam. Bantam of the Blades, one-on-one with Eberle, elects to flip it in behind the Pat net. Eberle overskates the puck. Bantam with it into the slot, loose. Buczkowski took too long, and Grunick with a good defensive play to deflect it high and well out of play here at the Agronome, where it's a standing room only crowd tonight for Game 3 of this series. And don't forget, Game number 4, one you don't want to miss, Good Friday afternoon for Game 4 of this series, John, at 2 p.m.
Yeah, and that's going to be an exciting one also, but boy, we've got 16 minutes left in this one, and I'll tell you, anything can happen. It's been a great hockey game so far, and both goalies are really playing well.
Frank Benham fires the puck in behind Rizdale, a bit of a crazy hop. Wow. Nicholas Parkland lost the handle, gets it back at center, and only to have Zidane poke it off his stick. It's a pretty nice number, isn't it, John?
Yes, lovely crowd here tonight.
5,313 in attendance. That exceeds my thoughts by a few, I can tell you that. Parkland up the middle, hit Braden Reed in the back. A lot of play in the neutral zone tonight, except for about a 10-minute span in the second period that solely belonged to the Pats. 13-18 to go in the third. It's a 1-1 tie. Russ West, who's played well tonight, giving chase. And Andrew Kemper with a puck to Andy McIntyre off the boards. Hit Shantz's stick as Dempsey drills it back deep in the zone. Shantz in hot pursuit against Kemper, and Shantz threw a big hit in behind the plate. Dumont nearly stole it as Zakuski had trouble with it. Here comes Tibbetts. A hard shot. It deflected and bounced just wide of the net. That took a tough hop right near Risdit. Zakuski ties his man up on the boards. It comes loose, and Shantz trying to clear it out of the zone, and Zakuski will. Dion Zakuski has Dumont wide on right wing. Dumont came into the middle of the ice. He'll play it for Coach. Wrist shot. Really good, solid stuff by Miracle. His coach got a lot on it. Here's Zakuski trying to feather it in front of the net. It was blocked, and Tibbetts will find Startup. James Startup to McIntyre. McIntyre looking for the give and go, and Dempsey broke it up defensively. And back comes the Pats number 2. Dempsey leading a pad rush into the zone. Dempsey going to the net.
Dempsey all by himself, and really does a great job by muscling around, sending it in front, but the play was made by Brandon Coates, charging to the net and then screaming for that puck, and it comes there and he just taps it behind the goalie. That's how you beat a good goaltender, by hard work plays like that.
Boy, did this place erupt. 2-1 Pats in front on Brandon Coates' first of the series and his fourth of the playoffs, as we'll hear from Ryan Raymond.
Number 13, Brandon Coates. Assist number 2, Nathan Dempsey. That's 13 from 2. Time of the goal, 7 minutes and 52 seconds.
Dempsey made quite a rush and made a great pass. Here's Biette stealing to Friesen. Friesen a shot, and Miracle got a stick on it as the Pats try to add to their lead. Here's Calder back for Yakomission. Lost his balance as Eberle slides it into Blade territory. Mark Rader in behind his own net with a puck. Rader for the Blades. Rader being watched by Friesen, who picked his puck in. Here comes Eberle with Hannes. Oh, hard shot. Eberle the puck off the end boards as this place is going crazy. It's 2-1 Pats, 11:23 to go in the third. This is Pats playoff hockey on Cable Regina.
Fred Weimer of Regina will take home $1,482. Once again, congratulations and thank you for supporting the Regina Pats Education Foundation.
Well, Brandon Coates gets credit for the goal. His fourth of the playoffs from Nathan Dempsey. 1 assist, time 7:52.
Good play all around by the Pats, but here comes Wichkowski racing inside Pat territory. Wichkowski knocked to the ice by Smith. Quick shot by Clark Whelm, and then Reed throws a big hit, and Rizdale helped himself as the puck came dangerously toward the front of the net. Russ West gets loose, and he'll find Reed at center. Reed to Grunick, trying to cut around Benham, going to the net. it is Gronick. He's knocked down. Gronick got back up in front for West. The pass in behind him. Barkland with it in the corner. Barkland in front finds Graydon Reed. Reed slap shot save on the short side by Miracle as the Pats have some momentum after that goal. Here's Barkland again. Nicholas Barkland playing away with the game tonight, keeping the puck down low, and Clark Wilm will try and clear it out for the Blades, and does. Blades on a change. Here's Jason Smith breaking into the zone. He lost the handle as the puck squirts into the corner. Coates in front of the net. Start up there defensively. A nice pass by Tibbetts. Here comes McIntyre. He's got a howitzer of a shot. McIntyre in front. Dempsey tied him up. His startup is down on the ice. Jason Smith without a helmet. Smith, the center ice, and Dempsey. Dempsey puts on the brakes. Finds Coates again. Wrist shot. Puck in front. To the backhand, and he scores!
Dempsey again engineering this one. Little flip pass to Coates. Shot's blocked, but Dumont pounces on it and gets a backhand. But Brandon Coates again drives to the net, picks up a rebound, and he fights his way and taps it home. That is a huge goal for the Regina Pats. Brandon Coates, second goal in a row. 3-1 Regina Pats.
Good play again. Coates kept it alive. Dumont let the first shot go, and the Pats driving to the net for the second shot. The Blades have taken time out. You can barely hear yourself, but this is Pat's playoff hockey on Cable Regina. And recaps those last two Pat goals, both by the same guy.
Yeah, Brandon Coates from Dempsey at 7:52, and then Coates from Dumont and Dempsey at 10:09.
Blades backhanded in deep. They've just called timeout to try and slow down the momentum. But here comes Friesen. One-on-one with Kemper, and Kemper recovers well to knock Friesen off. The puck is Yakimishin. Has it at center to Fujita. Fujita inside the Pat zone. Fujita in front of the net. Zakuski ties up Calder going to the front of the cage. Kemper with a loose puck. Kemper trying to steer it in front. It's still loose in the Pat zone. Here's Calder with it. Calder behind the net for Yakimishin. Tied up by Biette. Biette put a bit of a grab on him as Dempsey will flip it high and down the ice. A race for it. Friesen should beat Kemper to the puck. Friesen ducked away from it. Now he got it back. Friesen in behind the net. His head is in front of him. Great chance. And Watton just barely lifted his stick. 8:50 to go in the third period. The Pats putting on the pressure, and they lead it 3-1. This is the noisiest I've ever heard this building in my young life.
And it's great, I'll tell you. The players love this. They're going to feed off this. And I'll tell you, the Pats got that goal to go ahead, plus the insurance one, and they haven't stopped pressing. I'm glad to see that. You don't want to fall into a shell. There's way too much time left. 8:50 to go. 3-1 Pats.
Indeed, lots of time left. West wins the draw. Helper clears it wide of the net. Graydon Reed in front of the net. Gronick's got a weak chance. Not a weak chance, but unfortunately got a weak shot away as the Pats really buzzing, as John just mentioned, around the Blade net looking for more.
That's the best way to keep the pressure on the other team, is to keep the pressure on. Just do what you normally do. Let this crowd just keep that momentum flying for you.
Here's Helper, a long shot from the draw, and the save made by goaltender Norm Miracle. And the Pats, after only having 7 shots on the Blade goal in the first period, now have 37 shots on net with 8:37 to go in regulation. The Pats leading at 3-1 on Brandon Coates' 4th and 5th of the playoffs and 1st and 2nd of this series. The Blades rolled up their men and even a little bit more aggressively, or what, on the face-offs?
Remember what I told you on that face-off plays deep in their end? Their defensemen stay right with the wingers and they follow them everywhere they go. And it just makes everything so simple. It's beautiful to watch.
West tied up by Clark Wilm. Helper there to help out, but here's Bantam. Bantam fakes the shot to the blue line, and Rader a shot. Eberle blocked it, and then made Rader pay the price. Drilling in. 8:07 to go in the third. The Pats lead it 3-1. This is Pats playoff hockey on cable. didn't see what happened to Louis Dumont, but I know one thing. Somebody gave him a rotten cheat shot that almost started a riot, and I don't think the Blades didn't do that on purpose, if you know what I'm trying to say.
It was Mark Rader who gave Louis the shot as they were changing lines and crossing in front of each other. Referee, can't believe it, had his back turned in the corner looking at the crowd, and the play's in front of him, even though it's a dead play. He's got to keep his eye on everything. So now he's confronting with his linesman to see, but he's got Rader in the penalty box. Coates went after him, gave him another shot, but looks like only one penalty to Mark Rader. Let's see what he gets.
Well, I didn't really see it there, but if they could run it downstairs in the truck again, please, on the encore, is this game on Cable Regina, and here it is, but we don't see what happened to Dumont.
He got a misconduct, but there should be a power play on that one.
And the Pats are still irate at their bench as Rader took an awful run at Dumont, guaranteed. And fortunately, Dumont is okay. And I can't believe that the Pats won't get a power play.
We'll watch it again. There's Rader. He goes down. He got crushed by Derek Eberle on a very clean play. And as he goes to the box after.
Now look how he saunters.
Watch, and there he gives Dumont a dirty shot.
A dirty shot with a stick.
Yeah.
That was ugly. No doubt about it. No power play. Less than 8 minutes to go here in the third. It's 3-1 Pats as startup carries into the zone. Startup in front of the net. A chance. Brisdale makes a rebound. A piece of that. This McIntyre was set up. Here's Coates again trying to break loose at center ice. Oh, the emotions are flying big time, aren't they? Dumont had Coates alone. He didn't quite see him as he shoots it in on Norm Miracle as Coates swung into the boards. I need timeout. 7:33 to go in the third. It's 3-1 Pats. This is Pats hockey on Cable Regina. And they are on Cable Regina. The voice of the Pats is they put the camera on us, John, for the first time tonight. We'll wave, say hi, Mom, and anybody else, and hope you're enjoying this one. Pats lead at 3-1 on back-to-back goals in this third period by Brandon Coates. Still a long way to go. 7:25 to go in the third period as Dion Zakuski flipped the puck off the glass, and they rule that it was flipped out of play. It's Brian Raymond, the Pats public address announcer, will tell us there are 5,313 in attendance tonight in the aggregate.
That's a great crowd.
The record for a Pat playoff crowd, by the way, May 6, 1984, Game 5 of the League Championship Series against the Kamloops Junior Oilers, as they were known then, John. A memorable series for the Pats, one they'd like to forget.
I broadcast that game.
Yes, I know you did.
And I missed going out to the coast, and they blew it in, what, 7?
Blew it in 7.
Late in the game, too.
No, where they really blew it was Game 6. Dean Evison tied it with 12 seconds left, and then the Pats lost in overtime 4-3 on a goal by Ryan Stewart, and then the Blazers, or I guess Junior Oilers as they were known then, came back and won the next game, Game 7, by a goal to win that series. That night there was 6,150 to watch a Pats 4-1 victory, if my memory serves me correctly, and that must have been a fun night to be here as well.
I figured it was going to go all the way, and then they go out there and lose. And I'll tell you, playing in front of 6,100 fans is great. We never had those kind of crowds at the Exhibition Stadium.
No, but they were loud, and you had great ones there, and rightly so for your team that went all the way. The last Pat team to win a Memorial Cup is here's Fujita breaking into the zone in front, looking for the tip in of Calder. Calder has the puck. Calder into the slot. Yakimishin, a weak drive, deflected wide. Zakuski gave it right to Calder, a quick shot, and Brisdale makes the save as Yakimishin and Zakuski, and Yakimishin trying to maybe draw a penalty here with just over 7 minutes to go in the third, and the Pats leading it on Brandon Coates' 4th and 5th of the playoffs, 3-1.
Well, the key now is the Pats just have to keep their composure and keep flying. I'll tell you, they're playing a great hockey game, and they're getting rewarded for their efforts, and that's great to see. The crowd's enjoying it. Risdale standing tall, and they're beating a good goaltender at the other end, Miracle, with some tap-in rebound goals. And hey, you can't beat him with shots. You got to beat him with other good and goodies.
John, why did the Pats score those 2 goals? They went to the net.
Yep, passes across. One was a rebound. One was a nice pass across the net. Beautiful.
Eberle from the draw. Pats control, and Eberle will have an opportunity to bank it off the boards to center. Wojciechowski moved back on defense, looking for a little extra offense. Braden Reed, nice move and a nice pass to Russ West. A good call. Just barely offside of the blue line, as referee Kevin Mensch is likely to skate over to West and warn him a little bit. And another reason, of course, Wojciechowski moves back on defense is because Mark Rader is done for the night unless there is overtime.
I don't know about West offside on that one. It's a really close call. Reed just slipped it across to him, and it was a close one. No complaints, though, but there's no sense complaining.
Jason Smith hammers it in deep in Blade territory. Russ Gronick after it along with Mark Watton. They both overskated, and it goes to Benham. Benham's pass out of the reach of Duda as the Pats send it in deep. Gronick after it along with Benham. The puck rolls to center, and the Pats shoot it back deep in Blade territory, where they would love the puck to be the rest of the night with a 3-1 lead.
Doing that.
Braden Reed will turn again and send it back in.
The clock is the enemy of the Blades right now, and the Pats are doing a good job working it. I like this line combination with the Pats. They've had a great game.
They certainly have. They've been the spark plug line for the Pats tonight. Here's West again making it happen. West in behind the net, took a couple of hits, but giving the Blades fits in their own zone. 6 minutes to go in the third at game number 3. Pats with a 3-1 lead. Clark Wilm to the line, put himself offside. Braden Reed will send the puck back to the Blade blue line. Chad Allen with a puck. Allen, he'll shoot it in. Puck off the end boards to Jason Smith. Smith will lope out of his own territory, finds Coates. Coates, a long shot off the ankle of Warner. Ouch, that hurt. Coates carries on, backhands it behind the net. Shantz in hot pursuit and start up with it. And Warner would love to get to the bench. Ouch, that really hurt him. Startup, nice moves as he comes to center ice. He'll shoot the puck on Risdale, who kicked it into the corner. Dumont cleared it to the line. Chad Allen of the Blades held it in. The puck loose in the slot. Dumont skates away with it. Louis Dumont with speed, trying to go around Kemper. Kemper put a grab on him. He tried to fight through the check that time. Derek Tibbetts with a puck. Tibbetts first startup. Startup runs into Dumont, and here comes the Blades and Allen. He makes his way to center and shoots it in. Tibbetts tripped behind the play, wanted a penalty. He won't receive it. Dempsey off the boards to Coates, and Coates simply slides it into the neutral area. 3-1, Pats in front, 4:44 to go in the third. Pats trying to take a 2-1 advantage in this best-of-7 affair. Sean Yakimishin will look cross ice. Actually, he'll dump it in. Speeding into the corner is Fujita, and Eberle just sent it out. Friesen carried it back in. There's going to be a penalty against the Pats. An interference call against Derek Eberle, and the crowd doesn't like it, and the Blades could be back in it now. They'll have the game's 4th power play for them when we return. It's 3-1 Pats, 4:25 to go in the third. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina. Derek Eberle of the Pats in the penalty box for interference. Pats lead at 3-1, 4:18 to go in the third, and the Blades with their 4th power play, I believe, John, of the night, as Dempsey shoots the puck down the ice.
Yeah, that's correct. This is their 4th. They're working on their 4th. They're 0 for 3 so far.
Shantz, Biette, Smith, and Dempsey, the Pat penalty killers. Blades out there with Wojciechowski, Fujita, Duda, Calder, and Watton, of course. On the boards, Duda steals the puck in the corner. Duda still with it on the end boards in Pat territory. Duda has the puck, nearly hooked off the disc, and Biette will turn and fire it the length of the ice. 1:18 to go on this Blade power play as there's pushing and shoving going on behind the play. Calder, nice touch pass to Duda. Duda breaks into the zone. Jason Duda with a puck. Duda into the corner and Calder. Calder behind the net for Fujita. Fujita back on left wing for Calder. Poked it to Fujita. Fujita cutting in front. Another good stop by Mike Risdale, who's made many in this game as the Pats send it down the ice. They let Fujita walk right in front. Blade shoot it into Risdale. Risdale leaves it for Dempsey. 40 seconds to go on the man-power advantage. Great play by Bantam to hold it into the Pat line. First startup. Startup with it. Startup fakes a shot. Dempsey fell down. Puck loose in the net. Risdale, another stop on the rebound off of Tibbetts, and that young man is playing some kind of goal in the playoffs for the Pats.
Well, this is probably the best he's been tested so far in this hockey game on this power play. Saskatoon having 3 or 4 good quality shots. Here comes one now on the replay, and there's a loose puck, but yes, Rizdale's really standing tall.
I think that one hurt him. Hard shot by McIntyre, who can gun him with a bench, but Rizdale will shake it off. 2:56 to go in the third. The Pats with a 3-1 lead. 31 seconds to go in the penalty to the Pats. Eberle for interference. Shantz to take a key draw against startup. Shantz won it. Dempsey turns away neatly, and he'll backhand the puck down the ice. Fine play by Nathan Dempsey, who has his 7th and 8th points of the playoffs. Assists in the third period on both Brandon Coates' goals. Kemper will stick handle his way over the blades to center, shoots it off Biette's stick, and that makes its way into the stands with 9 seconds to go in the power play.
This is a big, big kill for the Regina Pats. 9 seconds to go. They've done what they had to do. They didn't give Saskatoon total domination for 2 minutes, and with 9 seconds to go, really they're going to escape a big one right here, and full marks to the penalty killing squad.
9 seconds indeed. The Pats should be able to kill this one off, especially if they win the draw. Biette, Shantz, Dempsey, and Smith. Start up McIntyre, Tibbetts, Warner, and Chad Allen. 9 seconds to go on the Blades' 4th power play. The Pats are 0 for 5 on the power play tonight. So both teams' penalty killing units have done a great job, and the Pats have just killed off a huge one to Eberle here in the late stages of the third period. Shantz trying to tie it up for a stoppage in play. Great work by Shantz as the Pat penalty killers do an excellent job. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third. It's 3-1 Pats. Smith blocks it at the blue line. Can't clear it out. McIntyre with a loose puck to the blue line, and Chad Allen shot right through, and Eberle will flip it out to center ice for Biette. The Blades a little slow getting to the puck as Gronick will make his way to the line and steer it in. Less than 2 minutes to go in regulation. 3-1 Pats. We'll see the Blades try and pull out all the stops here in the late going. McIntyre to center for Tibbetts. Tibbetts runs into Eberle at the blue line, and Eberle will skate confidently to center. Eberle inside the line, and it's blown down on the offside. We'll take our final time out of regulation. 3-1 Pats. They're 139 away from taking a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 affair. This is Pats Playoff Hockey at Cable Regina. 1.5 minutes to go in regulation. The Pats with a 3-1 lead. Fujita to the line, and Watton. Here's Watton trying to get loose. Beckhander blocked in front. Good defensive play by Jason Smith. Norm Miracle is out of the Blade net. Blades were looking for a stoppage in play. They dig the puck loose. Fujita to the front of the net. For Calder, a weak shot. Puck still bouncing around in front. Calder, good work to control it. Fujita coming out of the corner. Stopped by Eberle, who turned it over. Another shot by Calder to Rizdale. Just got a piece of his Shantz. Tries to bring it out of the zone. He does. This game, say goodnight. 4-1 Pats, and they'll take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 Eastern Division semifinal on Dumont's 5th of the playoffs into the empty net as we get another look at it.
Well, not much chance there for anybody to stop Louis Dumont. Good work by the 5-7 that was out there. Saskatoon had some pressure. They got the puck in deep, but they couldn't get that quality shot as the Pats really jammed in front of the net. They finally chip it out, and Saskatoon obviously pressing everybody up front. Dumont chases down a loose puck at mid-ice and skates in and scores a goal.
John, the Pats coming into Game 3 of this series didn't feel like they'd put together a solid 60-minute effort, but they've done that here tonight. And her full marks is Yakovmission, attacks him, absolutely attacks him. Well, that's as yellow as I've ever seen. Well, that's certainly a gutful move by Sean Yakovmission, but I'm not surprised because that was orders. There's no question about that. That was orders.
Well, I didn't see it. I was writing down the goal, so hopefully we can catch a replay on that. It'd be interesting to see, but that is obviously looks like one of those attack jobs that, you know, they're lining up and they fight, and one person gets obviously the upper hand, and he's going to town.
That is a gutless move. It's that simple.
But watch it on the replay. Watch that commission. He knows all along what he wants to do.
Exactly. Here we go. A stick, another stick, and then he just hammers him in the face. Now, to me, the league has to look at situations like that, because that, to me, is a gutless display of hockey, and I'm sorry, folks, if that sounds harsh, but I can't put it any better way.
Well, I agree. It's one-sided. It's a vicious attack. It's something that you don't like to see, but it happened, and we'll wait and see what they're going to call here. 4 minutes. 4 minutes for tattooing somebody?
Number 23,
John Yakovichin takes 4 minutes for what certainly should have been 5 minutes.
For being the instigator and 5 minutes for fighting.
Hannes will also draw 5 minutes for fighting. Boy, he took a real beating from Yakovichin. But the Blades have not been able to win this game, and what a third period effort, John, by the Pats, as they'll send the 5,313 home very happy tonight, and this was a fun place to be for Pat fans this evening.
Was it ever? I'll tell you, great marks to all the Pats. They really did a good job. They let that first goal in. That was early in the first, but I'll tell you, Peter, after that, it was all Regina Pats.
Pats with 3 unanswered goals in this third, 2 by Brandon Coates and Louis Dumont into an empty net. And the puck is loose with 30 seconds to go as the Pats will take a 2-1 lead in this series, heading to Game 4 here Friday afternoon at the Agrodome. Eberle is shot, didn't make it through the maze of players in front. The Blades shoot it down the ice where Mike Risdale handles it, and what a night he's had. You think back, John, when it was 1-0 in the first minute of the second period, and he robs Tibbetts on a breakaway. Tibbetts scores there. This is a different hockey game. I don't think there's any question about it. But Risdale made every big save he had to tonight, and this game is over. And the Regina Pats with an outstanding effort as they beat the Saskatoon Blades 4-1. And as solid an effort as the Pats have put forth in the playoffs. We will be back with a post-game show as the Regina Pats have taken a 2-1 lead over their rivals from Saskatoon in this best-of-7 Eastern Division semifinal. But trust me, folks, this series will be going a long time. This is Pats Playoff Hockey on Cable Regina.